g. In the 21st question, we are given an AT graph and we need to find the velocity of the particle after 4 seconds. Now we know that the area under VT graph is V. So we multiply 10 into 2 and we add that to 10 into 4 by 2, which gives us basically the area under the graph, and V equal to 30 meters per second. In the 22nd question, we have a projectile from a height h above ground and u equal to 10 meters per second. Now we have final velocity equal to 20 meters per second. We can apply the formula final velocity equal to under root u square plus 2gh, or we could calculate separately the x component and the y components of velocity and take square root of that. That is a simpler method compared to the initial. So this is how we'll be solving the question. Now vy square plus vx square is 20h by plus 100, and the value of v is given as 20 in the question. When we square on both sides, we get 400 equal to 20h plus 100, and when we simplify that, we get h equal to 15 meters. In question 23, a body starts from rest and falls through a height of 19.6 meters. This is rectilinear motion with u equal to 0 and acceleration is downwards. We need to find the time taken for it to fall through the last 4.9 meters of its fall. When we apply the second equation of motion, we get height equal to half at square because value of u equal to 0, 19.6 equal to half into 9.8 t square where g equal to 9.8, and when we simplify that, we get the value of time approximately equal to 2 seconds. Now when we subtract 4.9 from 19.6, we get the time taken by the body to cover the entire journey except the last 4.9 seconds. And when we subtract this time from the total time, we get the time taken by the body to cover the last 4.9 meters of its journey, which is 2 minus root 3, and when we simplify that, we get 0.268 seconds. In the 24th question, we have a projectile stone from ground with theta equal to 37 degrees with the x-axis. It hits the top of the pole when its velocity is least. Now for velocity to be least, we need at least the x component or the y component to be equal to 0. Since the x component cannot change, the y component has to be 0, which occurs only at h max. Thus the height of the pole is h max. We need to find the angle of elevation of the top of the pole from the point of projection. Now we have initial theta equal to 37 degrees, r equal to 4h cot theta, and then when we divide 2h by r equal to half cot theta, we get tan theta by 2 equal to n, which is equal to 3 by 8. 3 by 8 simplifies to approximately 0.375. In the 25th question, we have the initial velocity of a bullet, which is 100 meters per second. Now due to the effect of projectile motion, if the boy points straight at the target, it would fall below the target, which is why he points it directly above the target at the point P. We need to find the separation between P and the target. We have to neglect the length of barrel of the gun and g equal to 10 meter per second square and not 9.8. Now the x component of initial velocity is u cos theta, which is given as 100 meters per second. The range is given as 50 meters, and the time we can calculate by dividing the range by u cos theta, which comes around 0.5 seconds. Y equal to half gt square, which is the second equation of motion where s equal to y, and we get that as half into 10 into 0.25, which is 1.25 meters, and that is our final answer. In the 26th question, we have the projectile hitting the inclined plane perpendicularly after 2 by root 3 seconds. We have to find the angle of theta. Now we can apply the formula tan theta equal to the y component divided by x component of final velocity. Now theta is minus 30 degrees, so we get Vy by Vx equal to minus 1 by 3. When we substitute the value of Vy as sin theta t minus gt, we get Vy is 10 sine theta minus 20 by root 3, and Vx equal to 10 cos theta, which is a direct formula. When we put these two values in the initial formula, we get 10 sine theta minus 20 by root 3 whole divided by 10 cos theta equal to minus 1 by root 3. And when we simplify that, we get the value for sine theta as sine theta plus 30 degrees equal to 1, or theta equal to 60 degrees. Now let's move on to the next question. In the next question, we have two projectiles projected upwards from level ground with the same value of u and the same value of r, but different values for t. You have to find the ratio of t1 t2 to r. Now t1 t2 equal to 2u sin theta by g into 2u cos theta by g. t1 t2 is 2 by g times 2u square sin theta cos theta by g. The formula in the brackets is the direct formula for range. So we get t1 t2 equal to 2r by g, or t1 t2 divided by r is 1 by 5, because 2 by 10 simplifies to that, and we get the final answer as 0.2. The 28th question states that a body or a stone is thrown upwards with an angle of 45 degrees with the horizontal. It rises to a maximum height of 10 meters, and we need to find the horizontal range of this projectile. Now maximum height is given by the formula uy square, or y component square, divided by 2g, which is equal to 10, and from here we get the value of u as 20 meters per second. When we use the formula r equal to u square sine 2 theta by g, we get range equal to 400 times 1 by 10, which is 40 meters. Now 2 theta is 2 into 45, which is 90 degrees, and sine 90 degrees is 1, which is why we substituted only 1 in this formula. In the 29th question, we have the initial velocity as 6 I cap plus 5 j cap, which is 6 along the x-axis and 5 along the y-axis. Acceleration is given as 0.5 I cap plus 0.35 j cap, and we need to find the speed 20 seconds later. Now we can simply apply the first equation of motion, v equal to u plus at. Now when we multiply acceleration with 20, we get 10 I cap plus 7 j cap. When we put that in the equation, we get velocity 16 I cap plus 12 j cap. The magnitude for any vector is the root of the sum of squares of its x and y components, which is why we have taken v equal to under root 16 square plus 12 square, which simplifies to 20. Now last but not the least, 38th question states that the initial velocity of the particle is 5 meters per second. It has an acceleration of 2 meters per second square for a time of 10 seconds. Now if we don't know the formula for Sn, we can directly use this shortcut. S at 10th second equal to distance covered in 10 seconds minus distance covered in 9 seconds. Now we are using the second equation of motion, S equal to ut plus half at square in both the cases, and when we simplify this further, we get 24 meters as the answer. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, do share to others who would appreciate such content, and if you have any doubts, do let me know in the comments, and I will see you in another video. Until then, thank you.